Hello and welcome to my paid subscription practice for the month of October. This is going to be a warm, cozy, and grounding practice for the fall. It would be great any time of year for grounding and relaxation. It will be great before bed. I'm gonna make it short enough that it could be a nice pre-bedtime routine, or also maybe even like a midday break, or like a beautiful transition from your work day into your evening. Do it whenever you can. It'll be really nice. So light some candles, burn some incense, get some cozy comfies on, socks, grab a cup of tea, whatever helps you set the mood. And then I'm going to meet you right here in a comfortable seat. We'll start with a couple deep breaths and a little alternate nostril breathing to bring us into balance. When you're ready, close the eyes. And just start with a couple long exhales. You can exhale through the mouth or the nose. Let your sitting bones, your tailbone heavy. Let your shoulders relax away from the ears. Invite the muscles of the face to soften. Just welcome yourself onto the mat now for a grounding, replenishing practice. We're gonna do a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. You can do this one of two ways. You can do it actually using the hands and moving the breath in and out through alternate nostrils. If one nostril is blocked and this just doesn't feel good, do it with visualization. You'll imagine breathing in through the right, lighting up the right side of the body, and you'll imagine exhaling through the left, lighting up the left side of the body. I like to imagine right side red, left side blue, or you can just do it with the hands. See what works better for you. Allergies can kick up this time of year, so just be where you are in the practice. We'll begin with an inhale through both nostrils evenly, and an exhale out the mouth. If you're using the hands, you can use one of the fingers to plug the left nostril and breathe in through the right. Hold. Breathe out through the left. Breathing in through the left. Hold. Out through the right. If you're visualizing in through the right side red, hold. Out through the left side blue. In through the left side blue. Hold. Out through the right side red. A few like that on your own, breathing in, holding for a pause, exhaling out the opposite nostril, inhaling through the nostril you just breathed out of, Exhaling through the opposite. Let's do 3 more rounds. The next time you breathe out, just letting the hands fall back down into the lap and taking a few breaths, imagining the breath moving in evenly through both nostrils, lighting up both sides of the body. And the breath just draining down, allowing the weight of the legs and feet to heavy. You can bring your hands to the heart if you have an intention for your practice. Bringing that into your mind. And then when you're ready, you can uncross the legs, stretch them out in front of you, and let's just point and flex the toes a few times, rolling the ankles out, point and flex, and then going in the opposite direction. So just waking up the joints. The joints can get a little creaky this time of year, and we get that air element in the joints. So it's really nice to roll out the joints. This also helps to move lymph through the body, right? Open up the channels of lymph. You might even add the hands in too. And then you can press the palms forward and curl them in. So flexing both feet and hands. Good. One more. Okay, letting that go. We're gonna work a bit in the hips to start. The hips are the seat of Vata in the body. So when we work to open the hips, it helps to reduce that air element and bring a little more softening and ease into the areas where we tend to get pretty tight. So crossing right ankle over left thigh, the hands are back behind you. You can control how much of a stretch you want by how close you bring your chest to your shin. And then just rock it out a little bit. Good. Come up a little higher if you have the space. Take a breath. And then bend the elbows. Scoot the butt back, straighten that bottom leg. You can stay here in figure 4. If you want to go a little deeper, go knee over knee for a half Gomukhasana. Walk forward a little bit. Flex those bottom toes. You'll get a nice stretch up the bottom leg and the outer hips. And if you have tension in the low back, for any of these, just sit up on a little padding. Use your blanket. On an inhale, we'll roll it up. We'll bring the foot to the ground, hug that knee in. Take a simple twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, turn belly, chest, head. On an exhale, unwind, bring it back to center, straighten that leg out, and we'll switch sides. Scoot forward, cross left ankle over right thigh or opposite leg. And then go ahead and rock and roll a little bit, open up that left glute and hip. And I like to move around in this one, really feel out where I feel any tightness, but you can also just stay still. Sometimes even bending and straightening the elbows feels nice. Take one more breath here. Good, and then we'll straighten it out. Either stay in your figure four or cross knee over knee. Straighten that bottom leg, flex the foot, and then come forward any amount. I don't have to go far to really feel this one. One more breath. And then roll it up nice and slow. Step foot to the ground. Hug that shin in. Take an arm back behind you. Gentle twist. Lengthen the spine. Heavy the sitting bones. Turn belly, chest. And you can turn head if you like. Unwind nice and slow. Good. Uncross the legs, bounce out the knees a bit, and then we're going to come down onto the back. Move your props off to the side or at the tail of your mat, and come and lay down, head on the ground. We're going to do a constructive rest, just for a breath. Feet wide as the mat, knees together, head down. Hands can rest on the belly. And now let's just let the back body settle into the ground. Back of the head, upper back, middle back, low back. See if you can widen the low back as you let the knees heavy into each other. And you just feel the whole sole of the foot rest on the ground. One more breath. See if you can breathe down into the belly. Exhale it all out. Bring both knees to face up towards the ceiling, and then drop both knees over to the right. Now, my knee is nowhere near the ground here. If you want to lengthen a bit more through the right side, make the stretch a little deeper, you can stretch the right arm overhead or make a cactus with the arm. Stretching into the right chest, down the right side body, And if you want to go a little deeper, you can pick up the left leg and take it over the right thigh. If you have knee pain, skip this. Uncross the legs if you have them. Step that foot to the ground. Let's take it over to the other side. Knees to the left. Left arm can stretch back, or cactus. And if you did on the other side, you can take foot over thigh. My low back is off the ground. And I'm just getting a nice stretch through this left sideways into the hip flexor. One more inhale here. And let it go. Uncross the legs, gather the belly in and back. Take the feet back to the ground. Walk the feet in so they can kind of graze the heels with your fingertips. And then we're just going to do some dynamic movement on the breath. On the inhale, pressing into the hands and the feet to lift the hips. And on the exhale, rolling the spine back down. Easy. Good. As you inhale, press down through the feet and draw them back energetically towards you. So you fire up a little bit in the hamstring and the glute. Roll the inner thighs down. Exhale, roll it down. Good. Add the arms. Inhale, sweep arms up, lift hips up. Exhale, roll it down. One more like that. Inhale, lift arms and hips. Exhale, roll it down. Good. Let's bring feet together. Soles of the feet together. Knees wide. If this is a bit too much tension, you can put fists under your glutes. And just let the legs rest into the fists. And I have a tendency to really arc here, so I'm going to work to let my whole back body, as much as I can, of the middle back, just relax into the ground. If you don't need the hands, you can rest them on the thighs or on the low belly. Just letting the inner line of the legs stretch and open. And sometimes it even feels nice to just gently press the thighs. Just get a little space in the side body, in the hip flexor. Good. Now we're going to gather the belly to the back, push the feet together, and just draw the knees in a little bit. You're doing like a little core work. Good. On the exhale, let it go. The low back will arc a little bit. So it's like a little cat-cow action. On the exhale, press and round. Pull the knees in. On the inhale, let the knees come wide and the low back arc a bit. On the exhale, gather the belly to the back, round. On the inhale, open. Expand the belly. On the exhale, hug the knees in, use the inner thighs, and then round into the core. Good. Take the hands behind the head, and if you'd like, add the upper body. As you exhale, draw in with the arms, curl up. On the inhale, release. On the exhale, curl it in. On the inhale, let it go. One more curl. Good. Release the hands. Step the feet down. Curl the knees into the chest. Curl the knees up to the nose. Flex the feet. Hug the shins. And then even reach for the hands if you'd like to go really into that rounded spine. Hug inner thighs. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Come wide. Shoot it out. Inhale. Hug in. Exhale. Spread wide. One more core exercise. Bring it in. And exhale, extend, hold for a breath, navel back. And then go ahead, lift the legs up. And once again, flex and point the toes. Roll out the ankles. Good. Let's come into a half happy baby. You can do a variation with knees wide and the hands behind the knees. You can hold the ankles. If you like, you can bring all the way up to the feet, the hands to the toes or the outer edges. Rock and roll a bit. Good. Stretch the legs out wide if you have the space. Point and flex the feet. Draw the legs back in and then press yourself or roll yourself or press your thighs into your hands. Come up to a seat. Good. Take the hands back behind you. We're going to come down into a few restorative postures now. So if you have a blanket or a bolster nearby, let's pull that out. If you have a blanket or a towel, a thick towel, you're going to have it folded in half and then fold it in half the long way. And then one more time, so it's long and skinny. You can also do this with, if you have like a longer body pillow, or you can stack two bed pillows, right, side by side, long ways, down the length of your mat. I like to have the fringe facing away from me and the rounded edge facing towards my body. I'm going to keep my bolster down here at the bottom of my mat. I have my block nearby. I don't think we'll need it, but just in case. All right, we're going to start with a gentle Sphinx pose, and then we're going to move into a surfboard pose, which is a relaxing pose on the belly. So for the Sphinx, actually, you can move your bolster back, and we're going to just lay with the body on the blanket, and then we're going to bring the forearms down to the ground on either side of your blanket or pillows. And we'll just be here for a couple of breaths. Press the tops of the feet down and press into the elbows, lift the chest up. And then press the pubic bone down, tone the belly back. Just take a few breaths. This isn't your deepest Sphinx ever. Close the eyes, relax the jaw. And then we're going to go ahead and take that blanket, fold it back towards your chest. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit, press myself back so that I can line up, bringing my bolster in. And then we're going to end in a surfboard pose on the belly. If you would like at any point to turn over onto the back and end in a classic Shavasana, I'll show you that too, just in case. So, for the surfboard, feet can be supported on a bolster or a rolled up towel or blanket. Body is supported here. You can see my torso is pretty short, right? So my blanket looks pretty short. Yours might look a little longer depending on how much you fold this back. Blanket should hit about an inch below my hip crease. I lay down and then I use my hands to support under my head. I'm going to fold this back just a little more. And you can either have head straight down or you can turn the head to one side and then the other side. Then, if you'd like to end there and that feels comfortable, you can. If at any point you're ready to turn to the back, I'll cue you about halfway through. You can sit down in front of the blanket. You can pull this bolster up underneath the thighs. You can lay down and use this little fold as a pillow for under your head and end in a more classic Shavasana. So, whatever feels more comfortable, surfboard is a really grounding posture. So if you've been feeling a little ungrounded, and it's also great to open up the back of the neck and upper back. So whatever calls to you today, this is your practice, make it your own. Come into your surfboard pose. Again, belly on the blankets, feet, tops of the feet up on the bolster. I'm not going to lay down again so you can hear me better. I'm going to guide you through it with my voice. So as you lay down on the belly, you can make a pillow with your hands to rest your forehead on, and you can smooth the skin of the forehead towards your eyes. And just let your first few breaths, making any adjustments to get comfortable. Feel the thighs relaxed into the ground. Let the belly soften into your support. And if it feels more comfortable to turn the head, do that. And just start with a few breaths, allowing yourself to land in the pose. Welcome the breath into the body. And just welcoming anything else that's here with you today. Any thoughts, any tensions, any sounds around the room. No need to push it away. No need to hold on to it. Just allowing it to be. Allowing yourself to be here now as you are. The only intention of just receiving the support under you. Feeling the support of your props. you find yourself starting to get caught up in a thought or a story, that's okay. Just coming back to the breath whenever you remember. Letting the breath fill up the space of the back body. Inviting yourself to soften wherever possible. And if you'd like to turn your head to the other side, if you have the head turned, you can do so. If you want to spend your last few minutes on the back, you can flip over and take the bolster underneath the thighs, the blanket underneath the spine. Fall season, a time of starting to turn inward, starting to attune more to the light within rather than the light outside of us. Imagining the light and the warmth of the body, from the solar plexus, a few inches above the navel, your inner flame burns. Like a flickering flame, just allowing that inner warmth to spread out like a golden glow, just expanding through the whole body. On the right side of the body, on the left side of the body, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, on the top of the head, the soles of the feet, inside the body, outside and around the body, filled with the warm glow of your inner light. Knowing and trusting that no matter how dark it may seem, we always have this light, this warmth inside of us. We can tap into it whenever we need to find the next right thing. And you can feel free to stay in this restorative posture for as long as you like. And we're hitting 30 minutes, so if you'd like to end your practice now, you can start to come up to a comfortable seat. Coming back to your intention. And so much gratitude for taking the time to rest, restore, ground, and replenish. Namaste.